Alrighty, NCP Week 4 versus Kaz. Show Volcarona's in that first slot. I expected that. Volcarona, Rotom, Zapdos, Galar, Zero Aura, Ferrothorn, I all thought were guaranteed coming, which is good. And then Reuniclus, last slot was a toss-up. I do think I was a bit weak to Reuniclus. I had Zera, or not Zera, Zarude on my build initially, but I took that off. No Alolan Persian is great. It makes me really just want to, like, lead the Shandy. I feel like I'm fine leading Shandy. Rotom, I guess, could lead. I've been relatively unpunished in mocks leading Shandy, so I'll do that. I just need a little bit of chip on Volcarona, then the Giga Impact should be able to take it out, and we'll be in a good spot. I expect, like, some sort of physically defensive Volcarona. Maybe not max Phys Def, but I have Chansey just because something was cooking me in mocks. The Quiver Dance Volk was cooking me in mocks, could just set up on my entire team pretty much. So I figured Chansey, because I don't think it can be the Safeguard set at the very least, or it wouldn't be Roost, because I think it needs at least 2 coverage moves and Quiver Dance. But good luck, have fun to Kaz. Hopefully we can snag up our 4th dub, which would really put us in a fantastic spot for playoffs. If we don't, not terrible. Draft 15 is the Reuni. That is pretty good for me. I'm fine just clicking a free Shadow Ball here. Like, I let in Rotom, I guess. Sure. Energy Ball, like, vaguely punishes that a little more. But, like, an offensive Rotom is 2 KO'd. In this matchup, Chandelure was my premier offensive Scarfer. I need a Scarfer to be able to deal with his fast threats. Mainly Zera Aura and a non-Scarf Zapdos Galar were the 2 main reasons why I wanted a Scarfer. And so my options were either Scarf him on faster than them, being Thundurus or Zarude, but those mons didn't really want to Scarf, or hope the Zapdos isn't a Scarf. I needed to Scarf something faster than Zera, at least. I wanted that, because my Zera Aura counterplay isn't necessarily the best, so I decided to Scarf Chandelure, because if you look at Kaz's resists, Dark Resist, or not Dark Resist, Ghost Resist, no normal type, only resist is Alolan Persian, which still gets kind of cooked, and he does not want to be taking like an overheat. And then, so Shadow Ball, late game cleaning looks really, really good. Flamethrower, even late game cleaning, looks good. We just gotta sort of chip down the Rotom, and we can do that with Energy Ball. Energy Ball will pick up a 2 KO on any variant of Rotom, unless it's like a Rindoberry Rotom. So we can do that, but I think my lines of play with Chandelure, mostly in mocks, have been calling out a Rotom on a switch. Like, I get in on like a Ferrothorn, call out the Energy Ball, and then double out, A, to scout for a potential Scarf Rotom, but also to, if he predicts me to be a choice Chandelure, he can double back out into like a Ferrothorn or a Volcarona, and then I can't really do as much. Flash Fire here is quite nice because Volcarona gets really, really punished if it unfortunately clicks like a Fiery Dance or something into my Chandelure, and then boom, Flash Fire, overheat, something's dropping. Yeah, he can't really do anything about that. So I figure Chandelure, premier offensive Scarfer here, and I don't expect offensive Rotom, but figured leading Shandy would be pretty cool here. I wonder if like Kaz is like a Cassib Reuni. I don't think so, but he could be like Cassib. He's not Cassib. Does he just live? That is Assault Vest. Psyshock. That looks like Assault Vest, probably Assault Vest Regenerator then, if I had to imagine. I will double into my Uxie. That is most definitely an Assault Vest for Uniclus, which is good, because that means that it's probably more so specially defensive. We did around, what is that? Something like 40-ish%. Yeah, that's definitely. He doubles, which is fine. God Eye Pro, that is Rotom. I'm fine getting my rocks up here. Rocky Helmet, physically defensive Uxie. That is the main counterplay to Zapdos Galar. Potential counterplay to Tyrantrum as well, and can switch in on a Piloswine, because that thing can honestly give my team a little bit of trouble if it was here. But main thing it's here for is to switch in on Zapdos Galar if Thundurus gets low. I felt like that Mon, Zapdos Galar, was probably the biggest threat to my team, if not Zeraora. So I felt like devoting this Mon to it would be good. Rocks here are pretty nice. A figures out if the Volcarona is like a boot set, or if he thought like rocks wouldn't come, and he brought like maybe a Chilanberry set if he was like really scared of like Facade Zamazenta. I figured like maybe it was like in the realm of possibility that he would bring a semi-rocks weak team. So I have rocks. I have Encore so that Reuniclus can't like Mickey me with some just dual dance set or just Calm Mind even. U-turn for momentum obviously, and then Psychic. Dark type is a little incursion, so I figured just like Psychic is fine as the lone offensive move and does really well here as a sort of physical blanket check. And it's kind of expendable where we don't really need it for like the entirety of the game. We just kind of want to get some chip via helmet on Gzap, and then we are fine to go down hopefully with rocks up. But that's Uxie. He could just like Volt. He could Toxic. He just Volts, that's fine. Volt is not terrible. What is he going to go into now is the question. Probably like maybe Volcarona, maybe something else. Deadbolt. That is Ferrothorn. I like going Zama on Ferrothorn, I think. Thundy is like, because you could knock, right? Cool. Zama comes out. As he just spikes up. That is fine. We have the Thundurus for defog later. I'm just gonna Behemoth Bash here, I think is pretty free. I hope you clicked on this video because you saw that Zamazenta in the thumbnail. We brought a pretty spicy Zamazenta this week, being Howl, Giga Impact, Close Combat, Behemoth Bash. The stabs were really, really free outside of Volcarona. And at +1, Adamant Nature, Giga Impact to a max HP Volcarona will kill it. We need about 15 to 20% off on a max physically defensive Volcarona to kill it. And so that seems really, really strong. In my initial build, I was quite weak to Volcarona, so I figured a Zamazenta that could lure Volcarona would be pretty optimal. And although my build sort of shifted away from that, I still felt like a way to muscle through the Volcarona would be appreciated, considering his ways of revenging this thing aren't the best. Because we can chew hits for most of the team. Like even like a Galarian Zapdos, it needs to be like boosting to kill us. Zera needs to like land a Focus Blast, and even then it it can kill us, yes. But if the Volcarona is gone, his counterplay to this becomes much more limited. And I'm also just fine like punching a hole with this thing and then going to town otherwise. So Zama, pretty good here. It's a Zamazenta, you know what it does. Yeah, I don't think you stay in. If you do, you do. I expect like Reuniclus, maybe Volk. If I avoid one Flame Body, I'm in a fantastic spot. I'm sure I'm going to get punished because I should have just doubled, but if I avoid one Flame Body, I'm in a great spot. That does 20%. That is physically defensive, so I needed to do this. Okay, we do. We're fine. I'll go Chansey here. Expect a U-turn, but it is what it is. Provided we keep this chip, we're in a good spot to just howl up and then kill this. Although it is like max. Actually, no, that's 25%. So, Volcarona. I'm pretty sure. I was looking at like Volcarona calcs earlier. This has to be like max physically defensive to be taking hits like this. Yeah, that is max physically defensive. But yeah, I'll just swap into my Chansey. He could Roost.
knowing that he needs to be at full. He does roost. That's fine. What comes in on Chansey?
Initially, I had a bulk up Zarude in this slot, but I was very, very weak to just a Quiver Dancing Volcarona. Quiver Dance Volk, while not potentially like optimal here, still definitely could come, especially into the initial 6 that I had, and it could just set up on things like Chandelure that would be my like supposed counterplay, like Dragalge even. It could just set up and then go from there and just bully my entire team down with just Fire Move, Psychic, Roost, Quiver. It could do that unless I was like a Haze Feeny, but I didn't think Feeny had the best matchup here. Into Dual Electric plus Ferrothorn, it kind of had a hard time. So I figured Chansey would be my best counterplay option to a set like that, and Wish is really, really important to keep my team healthy. We lack reliable recovery this week on a bunch of defensive pieces, so Wish was almost necessary. Keeps the team healthy, and overall just does a really, really good job of filling that important niche of keeping the team healthy while also stopping special threats. You know, it's a Chansey. It does what it does. I think Safeguard Volcarona can't really come here. It needs 2 coverage moves. It needs Quiver, needs Roost if it was going to be that set. So I figured Toxic and Stoss would be fine, along with Wish and Soft Boiled. And yeah, that's Chansey. I suppose I can get like a Wish off in the air. I really don't need to do anything else. I can just Wish. I could also Toxic, but I feel like Wish is a bit safer because it allows like my pivots to be super free. As opposed to, he could go like hard G-Zap, but he also could fear like a Thunder Wave, which would make me think maybe Zeraora. Maybe Rotom. Dang. I don't think... Okay, he hard switches, so maybe no U-turn packed on this set. Ferrothorn comes out, that's fine. I imagine more spikes could go up. I don't really want that to happen, though, so I'm just going to go Thundy and get a Defog off. No need to do anything else. He's definitely Boots Volt confirmed. And this thing is not Boots. So, I don't know why it would be Boots. I don't really have spikes, but, you know, good to know. Dang, I'm gonna need to find a way to like maintain chip on Volk. I'll go Thundy. He doesn't have like a Persian to like prankster block my Defog. Spikes go up. He could expect a taunt here or a Defog. I think he swaps or seeds probably. Maybe Nox, but I'm just gonna Defog. There were a lot of interesting moves to consider this week on Thundurus. Thundurus, it has good options, but I thought most importantly this week we needed a defogging option because Ferrothorn spikes rack up. My team can't really handle it, especially prior to Chansey being on the build. We were incredibly spikes weak. So Thundurus coming onto the build with a defog set made the most sense to me. It resists anything that G-Zap wants to do. And T-Bolt and Focus Blast is really good for hitting into Kaz's team perfectly, actually. It does, I believe, has perfect neutral coverage on the entire team. U-Turn, good for momentum, and then Defog. Went with a max HP pretty much. Speed for the next fastest thing, being Volcarona and Galarian Zapdos. And then just pretty consistent Thundurus set that was doing all that I needed it to do, and that's why I brought it. Defog makes my Focus Blast more accurate, which he also has to fear. Probably like a Zera coming out maybe, I guess. He does just stay in. Could see a Seeds come out. Could see a Toxic. Could see all sorts of things. He just gets up spikes. That's fine. I think... Oh, in this, like, hazard battle, I'll Defog.
Yeah, okay, cool. I don't think I needed to like Focus Blast there. Reuni comes out. It is regen. Defogged up. U-turn. Get some chip off. If he goes double back into the Pharaoh, that could be cool, but we just get some good chip. That's a crit, that is why. He could. I'm just going to go Yuxi. Try to reset my rocks. Or U-turn. U-turn is fine. He knocks. Okay, he's got a knockoff. He'll take helmet because he's not magic guard. I think I'm going to double Shandy here. I'm going to double Shandy here. Perfect. Yeah, okay, cool. That was a good double on my end. I think it was relatively free to make. And now I just get, I think I get a pretty free energy ball. I don't think you go hard Reuni and get 2k by Shadow Ball. And getting Rotom hit would be cool. God, I Pro. I think that is the Rotom. That is. Okay, cool. And you're Spadaf-ish. I don't think you stay in. I think you can reasonably expect a choice variant and get back into the Reuni. Either way, Chansey and spreading Toxic is fine for me. He could knock my Eevio, but I think I'm more fine just Toxicking, getting that Toxicked. Actually probably not. That might have been a meh double in the long run. But I could. It also could catch like something more aggressive. And if he switches, we know that he's not Scarf. He pumps. Okay. He misses. He could be Scarf, actually. I'm going to fire off a Toxic here. If he Pain Splits, he Pain Splits. He does have the Pain Split. Okay. Cool. And he gets back to full as we get that Rotom on a Toxic. Part of me wants to double Toxic, but I think having my Chansey healthy is going to be a good thing in the long run. Actually, does it? Does it help me that much? Versus getting... No, because you could go Ferrothorn. So I'll Soft Boiled. Yeah. You could go Ferrothorn. He hard switches, no Volt. Yeah, there's the Ferrothorn. And now I'll go Thundy again. Thundy's fine. Kaz is taking much more time than I am. I just looked, he's like at 6 minutes or so. I'm at like 8. Yeah. Which is still early enough in the game where I don't think that matters too much. He's still high enough. It's not like he's at 2 minutes or something. He just spikes up. And I'll just defog. I feel like I'm giving a good game right now. Stays in. I imagine more spikes can come up. He Leech Seeds, that's fine. I think getting Focus Blast chip on this thing in the long run will be a good thing. And if he goes Reuni, he goes Reuni. But yeah. In the long run, Focus Blast chip seems like a relatively good idea. He stays in. We have our accurate Focus Blast because of defog. And that is a physically defensive Ferrothorn, I think. He goes for more spikes. I'm going to U-turn here. I don't think you're ready to sack this yet. Actually, yeah, I'll U-turn here. I think you could go Reuni, you could go something else. Yeah, I'm not going to try to overthink this one too much. He does stay in. That's fine. We're fine. We do take our iron barbs. I'm going to go Zama here. And see if I can get off my Howl. And Giga Impact the Volk. Because depending on his set, we might go unpunished for it. He body presses. Okay. That does like damage. It's not like free setup fodder or anything. But I can Howl. And I think I can maybe... I don't think I can Howl twice if he body presses here, but... He swaps. There's that Volcarona. I'm going to go for it. I think I'm playing too impatiently with this thing, but I think getting this Volcarona low will like ultimately make my end games better. Giga Impact time. Giga Impact time. Because like depending on how much Fizdef he has, this could kill straight up. Let's do it. Fuck. It was too physically defensive. I knew. Okay, he whirlwinded. Oh god. Oh god, that is bail as fuck. What the hell? And Yuxi comes out, which is a bit unideal, but that's still like so much better than anything else I could have asked for. Still so much better than anything I could have asked for. He gets a free roost off. I'll go Shandy on the free roost. If he gives me flash fire or something, that would be crazy. And we resist the bug move. He roosts, that's fine. I'm gonna cook something with an overheat, I think. Get that off. Overheat, and he stays in. I think this kills. Fuck, not quite. Okay. If he roosts, he does. Okay. Uh-oh. That's unfortunate. I thought he was in range. Well, looks like the Volcarona will get back to full. I can't really do anything about that. Unfortunate. Thought it was in range. Yeah, he gets another roost off. Well, at least we know that we do need to maintain some chip on this thing. These spikes are getting annoying. I'm going to defog. I don't think you want to like let yourself get knocked off. It would be weird. I think you assume that I have an electric move at this point. I think I've shown too much where I wouldn't. He could go hard Zapdos. That would be a fucking play and a half. Hard G-Zap. Okay, he doesn't. Thank God. I was like, holy shit, if he did that. Yeah, I'll clear the spikes. Wonder what kind of Zera he's going to be. Because I get a pretty free Draco with what percent the Ferrothorn's at, that this will be fine. He probably just knocks. Knocks, that's fine. He'll take helmet, unless he's pads. He's not pads. If you are outrage. Good bring. Dragalge was the primary Zeraora check this week. As you can see, we've got a helmet Dragalge because we're definitely going to get knocked. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Dragalge's going to switch in on a Zeraora knockoff. We've got Draco Meteor and Sludge Wave do very, very well outside of Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn can obviously not really handle a Focus Blast. It kind of can. Dragalge's not that strong without the adaptability boosted moves. And then Flip Turn for like a Reuniclus that would live our moves or just like slow momentum in general. was potentially nice if I didn't know sort of what to predict, how to predict. Ferrothorn, flip turning into like a Rocky Helmet Ferrothorn would be kind of unfortunate, as we do need some amount of health on this to still be able to chew Plasma Fists. And obviously if he did bring an Outrage Zeraora, which it's not too crazy, it's a bit rough because then you're hanging your Zeraora out for like pretty free revenge options. And I thought Zeraora was enough of a threat in the matchup where Kaz wouldn't want to do that. But if that happens, then Dragalge being the Zera counterplay is completely voided. But other than that, served as a really good Zera counterplay. So that's the team this week, I guess. I don't think it's worth scouting for Outrage when I think Draco can pretty much do good to like almost claim, maybe. If he goes Ferrothorn, he I think dies. If he goes Reuniclus, it's tight because it's going to be kind of low. I think it's going to be around 60-ish. Ferrothorn. Okay, cool. I think this dies. Which means no more spikes. Bop. Draco dropped. Bop, 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 bop. Ferrothorn finished off. Okay, cool. So it is not a 6-0. Not a 6-0. I assume Reuniclus comes in to get Regenerator. And it can get like a Psyshock off or something. Is he going to be like some sort of zoom in Reuniclus, or can I get like a flip turn off? I think he's shown like where he has to be so much special defense that he is not like the zoom in set that he brought against Owen. Matty Brawlick. That's the G-Zap. That thing is in now. Huh. I'll go Thundy, because I don't need to like care about hazards as much anymore. And I would like to know if you're Scarf. You just U-turn though. Okay. 116 down to 92. And that's believe that's like 24 points of damage. Looks like Scarf damage, I would imagine. It's most definitely not bandit damage. It is not max attack, it looks like. But this thing comes out. Oh, let's go Dragalge again. Now Sludge Wave is free. Although he does have strong damage options. Knockoff again. 77. I'll Sludge Wave, I think, is my right play. Yeah, there's the Reuni. Let's see how much this does. I don't think that's necessarily a 2 KO. I will flip turn though. Kaz is down to 3 minutes of timer. If he's super fast, he's super fast. Cool. And he's down to 25%. I'll go Yuxi. And then throw off a U-turn or rocks, depending on what he goes for. He goes for Psyshock. I think maintaining momentum will be good for me in the long run. Rocks will also be nice, but I think in the long run, if I have I'll just get rocks. I think rocks will be helpful in the long run. I don't know if there is going to be a long run with how much time Kaz has left, but go rocks. And then I imagine just a Volt comes out, which makes me want to just Psyshock or Psychic. I'm Psychic this week, but you know, I'm just fine to Psychic, because if he Volts, then I don't want my Chansey in left like pretty much exposed. Use like a VGC term for a second, it leaves kind of my team exposed, right? If he gets like one of these free offensive pieces in on my Chansey. So I'll just get some chip on the Rotom, put Shadow Ball close to a 2 KO. As he Volts, yeah. This Mon is a bit more expendable based on what he has left. It has the rocks up, which is what matters. That is the G-Zap. Takes rocks. He could be Policy, and I don't want to like let a Policy Agility G-Zap sweep me. I'm gonna go Thunderous. Like, I don't know why that popped into my head, but and it like could very well happen. He just U-turns. Okay. I imagine he's just Scarf, but on the off chance he isn't, damn right, I'm not letting a fucking Policy Zapdos. I assume with Agility U-turn you wouldn't be like U-turn Policy, but it's very possible. Like, it's not very possible, but it is possible. Zera comes out, that's fine. Boots. I'm just gonna U-turn. If he kills me off, he kills me off. Plasma Fist, that's fine. I think this is worth sacking here. And then Dragalge should be able to pick stuff up after Toxic and stuff. Or after Rocks should be good. I'll Sludge Wave. He swaps. What do we see? Is that the Reuni? He does go Reuni. Down to Rocks, is down to 45. Sludge Wave should be picking up a 2 KO here, or Sludge Wave into Draco. 45 down to 20. Yeah, Sludge Wave should be able to pick up a kill here. Cool. Perfect. Crit, I don't think mattered, looking at the rolls that we've gotten previously. Maybe if it was like a min roll, he could have lived, and the crit removed that chance. I wonder what the timer situation is like. I assume he's sub 2 minutes now, especially taking this long to decide. Volt comes out. Suppose I'm a bit... I don't know, I still have my Chansey. If he makes the U-turn play or like a Whirlwind, we could be in a world of hurt, but I wonder what he does. He's Struggle Bugs. That's a cool bring, I think. If I put up a Wish, I think I'm able to get myself into a position that I want to be in. So your Struggle Bug, Whirlwind. That's a Rotom. I can wish up Dragalge here, actually. Which would be huge. Wishing that mon up, so good for me. That makes my Zera, like, time so much easier. I'm very happy to do that. It also helps with Volcarona, helps with pretty much everything that's left alive. Other than Zapdos. It gets kind of hazy for Zapdos. And unless he finds a way to kill my Dragalge right now, believe we're in a good spot. Dragalge goes back to full. Crit Volt doesn't matter at all. Won't pretend like it does. And I think I can sack my Yuxi if a Volt comes out. I'll go back into my Chansey. Because if this thing ever finds itself toxic, we're in a great spot. If he Whirlwinds here, I imagine a Whirlwind comes out. Fiery Dance, no. I'll just toss. Rotom comes out. I have no reason to like wish here, right? And after rocks plus toss plus toxic, you die? I think. Rotom has a pretty low base HP. Yeah. Yes, sir. G-Zap comes out. No need to do anything too fancy here. Just go Yuxi, sack it off, I imagine. Oh, he ran out of time. I was not paying attention. Good game to Kaz. That is one of the unfortunate happenings of Wi-Fi. I believe that counts as a 5-0. If it does, that's really good. If it counts as a 5-3, that's still fine. But good game to Kaz. He definitely could have had me as the time wound down. But that's part of Wi-Fi. That's part of the game. So we'll take those up to 4-0. But yeah. Playoffs should be pretty easy from this point, hopefully. But yeah. Until next time, Jesse504 out. Peace.